When we look at what people do in the real world, I mean, all of us, and why we do certain things, they are very consistent. These are what I call the acts of human aggression. Remember, all of us are aggressive beings, and some of us are definitely more aggressive than others. Hence, they do or say bad things. But these aggressive acts is what we all do. It's part of our belief system in the virtual world that we truly live in. So what are these acts? Well, for one of them is judgment. We as people, we love to judge other people and how they should act, who they should love, who they should marry, who they should vote for, who they should pray to, and what you should buy, and so on. I mean, we are so good at judging people. Like a person who is against gay marriage. Well, that doesn't involve you or possess any impact to your life. So why should you care? Many have religious reasons why they are against gay marriage. But guess what? One person's religion does not speak for the entire world. There are many religions in the world that is important to that particular individual. You do not speak for the world. Another act is self-centered. People often act and feel self-centered as if the world moves around them, like the rules in the world does not apply to them or something. I mean, for example, at my kid's school during open house or back to school night, people park in the red zone because there isn't any parking spaces nearby. But guess what? The red zone is for emergency vehicles only, not for people who cannot find a parking place. Maybe you should arrive earlier if you don't want to park further away. But these people think that the rules don't apply to them directly. Another act is self-righteous. Many people will feel that they are always or mostly right and that you are wrong. We are quick to do that. We never seem to be humble and admit if we make a mistake or if we are late for a meeting or an appointment. We tend to point the finger at something or someone other than ourselves. We're never wrong. You're wrong. I'm right. How about another one here? How about entitlement? Well, we are very entitled. People feel like that they are entitled to things. You see this a lot on reality shows like American Idol, X Factor, to America's Got Talent, among many, many others. And they all say that they deserve this opportunity the most, that they worked so hard. Well, a lot of people worked hard. All of us deserve good things. But that doesn't mean that only you are entitled to get those things. Then again, that stems from being self-centered. In reality, we are not entitled to have anything to be given to us directly. Another act that we do is we are oblivious. We are oblivious with what we may do, say, or write into the real world, which could impact people or hurt them. But many people are so unaware of that. They're so unaware of what they do in the real world. And they're like, what? What did I do? We seem to be so unaware of what we do to others. But when it impacts us directly, then we cry foul and say that it's not fair. Because once again, it's all about us. We are self-centered. We are entitled, and that we're right, and that we're just oblivious of anything that is around us. Another one is significance or fame. People always seem to want to be significant or famous. They want to be recognized. Now, we take big pride in that, and probably because that leads to getting a lot of money and living a more comfortable lifestyle. If you are smart about how you spend your money, of course, then yes, being famous can definitely be a big benefit. But being significant or famous is hard to do unless you can really sing or do something that is so unbelievable. I mean, a lot of people can sing, but many of us cannot sing, or we do not have any skill that can make us significant to the world. Well, there is one way people do become significant, and it is very, very easy. However, it leads to very horrible and negative consequences. These are people who act a fool, or they cannot sing or act on any of these reality or talent shows. They go on stage and they make a complete fool of themselves. And doing that, people will make, fun of you, and they will laugh at you. And that will get you noticed. Case in point, William Hung from American Idol, who started singing this for his audition, She Bangs. He could not sing at all, and everyone laughed at him. But guess what? That made him significant for an extended or for a particular extended period of time. Heck, I remember that guy being on the George Lopez show. So being significant can also occur when a person does an evil action like a killing spree to get noticed. So if you really think about it, people who live their lives and they do good things, they don't really get recognized by the world for that, if you really think about that. I mean, there are some, don't get me wrong, there are some. But doing evil things, well, heck, that always gets you recognized. Well, how about greed? Another act is greed, or being selfish. It's all about the money. Well, we want money because that can create a more comfortable lifestyle that is a lot easier compared to if you have little or no money. Okay? You don't hear lower class people happy about having less money and living on the edge, living paycheck to paycheck. But the money we get, we also don't want to spend it or really share it. We think that things should be free, regardless if someone worked hard in creating something. They just don't care. And again, that is an act of a aggressive behavior of human beings. So people get annoyed by ads like on Facebook, the ads that you may see on your news page. They don't want to see it. Well, guess what? You are using Facebook for free and you're not paying for it. Same for YouTube. And you see ads and people get angry about that. So I can give you countless examples. So Facebook, YouTube, all that is free. You're not paying for that. Okay? So people who basically, let's say this, okay? So who's paying for these hundreds of servers that Facebook or YouTube has? The cooling of those servers, okay? The people who manage them and so forth. Where is that money coming from? And believe me, it's not coming from some money tree in someone's backyard. Actually, people should embrace advertisements because that is one way among many others that keeps you employed right now. Your company that you work for, they are doing advertisements with the intent to get new business, to make money. And some of that money pays you a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week or once a month, depending. So if people stop looking or responding or ignoring ads, then that could affect a company's bottom line. And guess what? The most expensive thing in a company is you, the employee. Therefore, if things or times are tough, then they have to let people go so they can survive another day. This isn't just for big business, for example. This also applies for small businesses. Look, I'm a small business owner, and I have a lot of colleagues of mine, which are also small business owners. And they have employees. And they have always said that the largest expense is the employees. So again, don't complain about something that is free and something that is logical for any business to do to make money and to keep you around longer. And my favorite, this is the big act of them all. Here it is. It's a big word. It's misanthropy. Wow. This was a word I've been trying to find for some time because I want to find some particular, I had this definition in my head. And with this definition, I want to find the word that represented this. And it's called misanthropy. And misanthropy is the hatred, dislike, or distrust of humankind. In other words, people don't like people or a group of people. And I'm not talking about just race, okay? I'll cover that in the next section here. So they may hate a group of people or simply don't trust or like a group of people. Now, the worst type of misanthropy is hatred towards people or a group of people. Well, that's known under a different set of words: racism and discrimination. This is an aggressive act that is common among human beings in the real world and what their belief system is based on. This is the smoking gun, is misanthropy. We are like Chinese fighting fish. You probably heard about that. That if you put two Chinese fighting fish into the same fish bowl, what happens? They fight to the death. Well, that's what we are. But we happen to be in a very big fish bowl. And it depends on the right circumstances, the right conflict of groups or misanthropy that can cause things to really get chaotic and out of hand. So these listed acts of human aggression, this is how our belief system is built upon. And it is how we act and communicate into the real world when we are confronted or challenged by a person or a group of people that, well, it's not part of our belief system. So I have so many examples that I will cover in other videos on our channel that will show these aggressive acts in action so you can see it for yourself. Everything that you see as an issue that has happened is because of one or more of these acts. But the big one is misanthropy, which is the hatred, dislike, or distrust towards a group of people.